It's been a minute since I've been live, man. I appreciate you guys being so patient, man. And I see this like 80 y'all up in this thing, man. Your boy Leo came in this thing strong, like, yo, welcome in. Appreciate y'all for being here. Ramon, I seen Skylar up in this bad boy, the learning professional. The wrestling god. What's happening? What's going on? Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Yo, I feel great this morning. And I'm going to do a wristwatch check before I go any further, man. So I got the PRX. We're going to tell a story about this watch. Yeah, we're going to tell a story about this timepiece right here. I got a couple of watches here. You guys don't know. We're going to talk about it, man. But I want to share some stuff with you, man, because we're going to be talking about stories from the cruise. Like, these are stories coming from actual people, like people that I talk to, different nuances. I'm going to give you guys some advice. I have my secondary device here with me. I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to reference something. I'll make sure I give this person credit because I was looking at, it's called Sometimes Sailing. I went online and I was researching what is the most purchased watch on a cruise, for a cruise, right? And Google came back and said it's kind of hard to tell what watch is purchased most because, of course, somebody has to upload that information to the internet, right? But the most talked about watch on a cruise is an Invicta timepiece. And I can tell you from experience, this is like my 8th or 9th cruise that I've been on. And I guarantee you without a shadow of a doubt, for somebody like me, right, that just absolutely does wrist checks. I'm spotting wrist and okay. I'll say 1 out of 10 people that you walk past got an Invicta on. 1 out of 10. Let's just say that. And just keep in mind, a cruise ship can hold about 3,000 people, 4,000, just depending on what ship you're on. And some of the larger ships, their Invicta presence is crazy. So yeah, these people go on there and they buy. But I wanna reference this. It's called Sometimes Sailing, and the title is Buying a Watch on a Cruise. 18 was cruise ship. 18 things you need to know, right? And the first thing they talk about is don't buy as soon as the doors open. As soon as the doors open. And what I mean by that is, for those of you guys that's never been on a cruise, you do once you get on a cruise and stuff like that, you have to wait for your luggage to be dropped off at the room. And in the meantime, 9 times out of 10, people are going to be in 2 spots. You're either going to be in the atrium where you entered in because the bar's open. They got some mild music playing, probably some Caribbean stuff, and the Lido deck. That's those 2 spots where you'll find people. And in that time frame, the shops are closed until you do your sail away party. Once you do the sail away and stuff like that, and we like get away from the the embarkation. Shops open and you can go do what you want to do, right? Casino, people are in the casino already. Yeah, that's the other spot. People be in that casino heavy. And the shops, you got your regular store with your Carnival stuff, or depending on what, like if you go to Royal Caribbean, which I've never been on yet, there is a lot to see, a lot to buy. And we're gonna talk about Rolex and high-end watches too. Let me get into the chat real quick. It's your boy Leo. What's up, people? Skylar Santana. Oh man, I'm talking about off the top, man. Yo, we got that. Super chat is in the building. Yeah, what's happening? Thank you so much for that, bro. I had to remix it a little bit. And yeah, I appreciate you doing that, man. That feels great coming back. I'm, man, thankful for you, bro. Bought my son a Citizen Orca on our last cruise, JC Watch. Yes, we're going to talk about that, bro. We're going to talk about it, man. I got so much, man. I only got an hour to talk about this stuff, too. So let's get started. Now, going back to this, and I'm going to come back. I'm keeping my place, right? Buying a watch on a cruise ship is an exciting opportunity. And a lot of people, they buy it. Some people budget for it. Some people don't budget for it. What's up, E-Mac? I see you in the building. But I'm telling you from experience, do not buy it. Now, I will say this is a perfect time for those of you guys that are just casual watch buyers, or you're just a consumer. Like, if it's there, if it's priced right, you'll buy it. This would be the perfect time for you to go try some watches on. That is the perfect time. Day one of you going to a cruise, go look at it and have them pull it out the thing. You're not obligated. They're going to push though. Trust and believe they're going to push because that's their job. That's their job. Now, for a watch enthusiast, a watch enthusiast is a ship's, what would they call a sales associate? Nightmare. Because I've literally, I'm guilty of it myself. And I'm going to tell you my story. Was a few years ago, I went on a cruise, and it was an Invicta-based cruise. It was just like the Invicta collectors. And basically, the guy that was selling the watch was talking about the watch, and he was talking about the dimensions and what it meant and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know that model. Yeah, I'll pass on that. He was like, oh, you will miss out. It's limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. And I was like, yo, bro, I'm the last person you're going to talk about like an Invicta timepiece. I trust me, I got it. Nah, man, it was so. And he's trying to sell, and like the people that's around me, Invicta collectors, they're like, oh crap. And I'm like, he's very persistent. And I said, let me break it down to you. I said, let me ask you something, bro. When was Invicta invented? And he was like, oh, it has a rich history. He avoided the question. He navigated through the question. So I had to jump in there, and end result, he had mentioned to another collector that. I don't like that guy. he tried to embarrass me. I said, no, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but like you're not going to give me information about me. But I learned a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, like I'm there for a vacation. He's there to do his job. So I said, Trap, back off. But I've seen enthusiasts actually lay into these people and tell them, and sometimes it's warranted. Just say that. But let's move on. So upon this article that I'm reading. It goes through that when it comes to luxury watches, and that's what I want to talk about, Rolex, luxury watches or Cartier, if you go on a cruise and you buy, because you see duty free and stuff like that, you ask them, if they don't give you this information, you ask them what other cost is associated with this luxury watch. Because let's say, for instance, you can get a date just, right? There's still a price out there, date just for like $5,500 on a cruise, right? Pre-owned. And you thinking to yourself, oh, that's a good deal because in my AD is $9,000, right? And depending on which model it is, you get off that ship and you don't pay duty on that watch. And you're like, wait a minute, it's duty free. They say, yeah, but they don't have the asterisks to tell you that it's duty free up to a certain dollar amount. If they are good at their job, they'll tell you that. They should tell you that. Based on what I was reading through some of the laws and bylaws of Carnival Cruises and stuff like that, and I didn't see anything where they were required to tell you that. Again, that makes a great salesman to give you that information so you know exactly how much you're paying on the cruise. So we got that. Let's get into the actual, here, hold up, because I feel like I haven't shown the watch. I talked. Boom, fair and swift. This is a watch that I took on a cruise, right? Simple watch. It's like 30, 39 bucks. It's like 40 bucks or something like that, right? Go on this website, check it out. Maybe I should have put the paid promotion sign up in there. And I apologize because I didn't, because I did get this on a big discount. But it's inexpensive. It's really nice. You don't have to get the negative display. But this was a big hit with people on the cruise. They didn't know what it was. They said, wait a minute, is that Casio? I said, nope, fair and swift. Had no idea. It was crazy telling somebody, yes, I did. What's up? Kimon is in the building, man. Hey, shout out to Kimon. We're going to be doing a show later on tonight. That's why I wore this shirt. You know what I'm saying? You see your boy there. This man, like, hey, keep praying for him. He's recovering and stuff like that. Shout out to Vic, man. The man that said he don't buy no watches anymore. But I saw that wrist check you did this morning, bro. I've never seen that watch before. So somebody holding out. Anywho's, what was I saying? Where was I at? Oh, fair and swift. We were talking about, micro brands. It was amazing sitting there talking to some people. I was in the Heroes Lounge, right? So y'all, if you guys missed that video, I did just a quick expo in the Heroes Lounge, and I had all my watches out. And you know what that does? Sparks conversation. Hence, this bad boy right here. That right there, look at that, man. It got my, mix master, you know what I'm saying? You got a part of mix master's heart, you know what I'm saying? That this is actually his heartbeat, bro. Feel me? Yeah. I mean, it's tight. Man, come on, man. Like, come on, right? You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
Well, yes. Transformers, yes. Constructicons, yes. I'm trying to tell people, here's the deal. They think that, like, G-Shock, Casio, they lying to people. They said that this watch was designed by them, right? Nope. Transformers are real. They're, I'm telling you. How you think we got all this technology? Where did we get it from? We ain't that smart.
God himself.
God created Transformers.
Yeah.
Hey man, hey bro, if you ain't having fun, man, you ain't living. She's troublemaker, man. She's such a I love it, man. But yeah, I got the watches out, and now we're having a conversation, man. And you know, we talked about this watch right here. We talked about micro brands, and when I use the term micro brands, they have no idea. So I know scholars in the building. If they didn't know what micro brands was, man, if I'd have put web-based brands on them, they'd be like Travis, I just killed somebody on the cruise. Not figuratively speaking, YouTube, so don't try it. I don't want your algorithm and bots trying to cancel me. I don't want nobody to physically be hurt or delete it, okay? Just figuratively speaking. He said, God created Transformers. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, that's right, bro. I'm telling you. The Green Monster, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here, Invicta Pro Diver Two-Tone. Okay. What's up? Keeping up with the Griffins, man. Hey, one of the greatest producers, man. I'm telling you, that dude, Joe, and his wife, man, they got a perfect combo. Did I leave a link? I left a link to some people down there. The Griffins is in there. Enthusiasts on a cruise ship in a watch shop. Like a deer. Hey, I promise, bro. I'm tagging that. Hold on, I'm pinning that. I promise, bro. Christopher White, welcome in. Woody, welcome in. Thank you guys. Warmstrong Adventures. Good morning. Godfathers in the building. Thank you guys for being here. With newbies, you can just say it's a watch enthusiast brand. They ain't ready, I'm telling you. But see, that's the thing. They wasn't ready for micro brands. Case in point, this was confused with IWC. Somebody thought the IWC put out this wine color. They said, when did IWC do that? Now, I was surprised that person knew IWC. Let me explain. On the cruise, during my expo, or before, like shoot the video, I had several conversations. And this watch will come into play during that conversation. What I was, told from people was like, hey, I like watches. My grandfather had this, or my dad wore this watch. And this one particular cruiser knew about IWC. So when he saw this, I told him, yeah, check it out, put it on. He said, oh my gosh, this thing is lightweight. He said, it's stainless steel. I said, no, it's titanium. He said, it's not. That can't be titanium. Titanium has like a darker hue to it. I said, no, this is titanium. I said, and it's coated. I said, the metal's been treated, so like it has a hardness to it. And I had to explain that, like when I mentioned the word Vickers, and it just rolls off the tongue, right? He like 1200 Vickers. He was like, what the heck is Vickers? I said, okay, it's a hardness treatment done to this watch, which like preserves it. So it's not completely scratch resistant, but it will last a lot longer than your average coating, stainless steel or titanium, what have you. So sort of a scratch resistance. And he was looking at, just look at the domage on that. He looked at it, he said, yo, this is beautiful. When I said to Sal Baltimore, I told him that this is called the Bolt. It's actually named after that plane right there, the bomber. And I'm explaining everything to him. And this guy was just like, wow. So he said, so there's actual people, right, that's not associated with Rolex and Patek and all these big brands, Citizen, that's making watches? I said, yes. They said, when did that happen? I was like, yo, bro, like, as early as 2005, right? Like, that's one of the oldest, watch brands that I know that's still a micro brand. He was like, are you kidding me? It was so much a shock to him to where he sat down and was like, do tell. Bro, I'm sitting there like, yo, that's crazy. And we take this for granted. So we're talking to each other, right? You on the other side of the camera, y'all at work, y'all driving, whatever y'all are doing. We can have these conversations like nothing, because this is something we're accustomed to. It was a shock for me that I was like, dude, he don't know about this. I'm like, wow, you never heard of Mike? I'm like, Okay, so I'm talking about. I asked him, "You ever heard of Christopher Ward? Who the heck is that? Is he a ball player?" I said, "No, you don't know." Oh my gosh! I said, "Hold up." So I go on my phone, open my phone up, and I start showing pictures and like different events because I still keep some of my recordings in my phone. And this guy, I mean, you'd have thought I'd have opened him up to a new part of the world. I'm literally watching him as he's looking down at my phone. His mind is like he's in the Matrix. That's all I can say. He's in the Matrix. And I'm loving it. I'm like, this is so cool that I get to share something with somebody and we're just having this great conversation. Now, moving on to this piece right here, the young man comes in and I believe he's actually Audemars Brigade are made in China these days. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, Ryan. I don't put nothing past any watch company, and we're gonna talk about because I'm going live tonight. We're gonna talk about Invicta, but like I'm gonna talk about a couple of other watch companies. Hey, I got a couple of watches from China, and don't knock the hustle, boy. That China watches from China, the ones that I have, you think stand up, man, stand the test of time, man. I mean, like, where's hold up, somebody enlighten me. Where the heck is San Martin a China or a Japanese brand? That I don't know. And if y'all say, hey, Trap, I should know that, I don't know. I'm not supposed to know everything. Only watch collectors have been to Antarctica. Quietly, Henry Martin. House of X in the building. Man, y'all up in here. Speaking of cruises, how fire was that white boy singing Keep Sweating on That? Man! Hey, wait a minute. He was dope, but were you in there for the guy that was singing? What was he singing? Alicia Keys song. If I ain't got you, if it ain't you, baby, whatever that. Man, bro, he said, hey, y'all, I can't sing. So I'm just up here. And I thought he was gonna tear it up. And I was like, when he got to singing, I was like, oh my gosh, now that's karaoke. I have no problem with people that can actually sing, but I'm there to hear all of the terrible notes, the highs and lows, the cracks in the voice, yo. Let's go deep. Sam Martin models. Yeah. I will say they get the Swiss tariffs hit. Yes, they did. Hey, what company? Yimma actually announced their price increase, like, I want to say almost 2 days before the 7th, which was yesterday. And I like Yimma. But, and we're going to talk, I think, you know what? I think we'll talk a little bit about that, man. Let me get through one thing real quick. So, when we come to this watch, my man, I got a twin. We twins now, bro. We twins. So, we talked about this watch, right? My man comes in, and keep in mind, I did not record any cruisers when we talked about watches. I didn't want to throw that away. I ain't gonna say throw it away. I didn't want to throw a camera in somebody's face. I didn't want to ask anybody if they want to be filmed or interviewed. I was there to vacation and enjoy. And I did want, like, you guys saw the footage I got. So 2 hours is what I dedicated on that cruise. 2 hours over a 5-day period. Actually, technically 6 days, because I counted the day that I actually landed in Florida up to the day we got back. I literally have 2 hours of footage, and that's it. That's all I'm dedicating to this cruise. So I didn't want to disrespect anybody, but I did talk. I talked to a lot of people, a few dozen people, like watch collectors, some enthusiasts, and just casual buyers. And I got a twin when it comes to this watch. My man saw it. He liked the watch, and we talked about it. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it, because on a cruise, watches are normally elevated in cost. Well, we know with the announcement of tariffs, Swatch went up in price. So this watch originally came out last year for $995. Guess what? It was the same price on the cruise, $995. So my twin literally goes to the shop. He's looking at the watch. And I just told him, I said, if you're going to get it, I grab it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the price stateside. what I'm saying? You're gonna save yourself about what, anywhere from $80 to $95. You know, because if you go stateside, unless you get with an authorized dealer or Tissot was giving some type of discount or something like that, to where you'll pay, you know, that $990 here. But for the most part, that commemoration trip, which was the most important thing that I say, and let me just say this, it's disclaimer, or no, this is just what I say. If you are to go on a cruise and buy a watch, you can buy a watch anywhere, but it is to commemorate that with your family, because there's people that retire from jobs after 30 years. They go out there and they want to do something special, right? There's people that, you know, got promoted on their job. They want to buy something. They want to do something to commemorate it besides buying a magnets or a shot glass. That's like, or a bottle of liquor that'll be gone and all you got left is the bottle. So my thing is, a watch on a cruise, man, that's great. Or jewelry. You know what I'm saying? You buy your significant other a piece of jewelry on their thing. Those things, like, regardless of the price. Because you know what, with us, we do. Like, how many people in the chat right now, knowing doggone well that you bought a watch, we're going to keep it watches, you bought a watch that it wasn't worth the price that you paid for, but you wanted it that bad you didn't care. You paid the cost. I mean, look what we're doing now. I'm going to say this, two companies. I literally sat at Moyer's Jewelers, I think it was a year and a half ago, and Breitling was going up on price. And they went up. I was sitting there and it came down. One of the supervisors came down and said, hey, Breitling officially increased the price on this. And then they announced that they're going to be going away from this value-based movement. They're going to do some special movement or whatever, their own proprietary movement in the watch. But as of right now, the price has increased by $100 or something like that. Now, there's no upload to this watch. There's no new technology added to the watches that they have in the case, and they pay the price for that watch already to have it in the case. But yet and still, that watch went from $4,300 up to $4,450 or something like that. And I'm like, it's nothing new. So, with that being said, when you go on a cruise, paying the elevated cost is there. You will definitely pay a big price. What's up, Rob? Welcome in. Luciano, welcome in. To Soul's on Traps Risky Dog. All right. That watch you're wearing is fire. I definitely enjoy this watch. So my twin goes back, right? And he looks at it. He didn't buy that day. So I leave, I go, do my party thing on the cruise, doing my thing. I come back, of course, I went in the shop every day I love. That's my thing. Once I go on the cruise, I eat my food, Guy's Burgers. Oh, Guy's Burgers. Oh my gosh. Sorry for you guys that don't eat meat. Not trying to throw it in your face. You're like, Trap, I don't eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. Sorry. Go to Guy's Burgers and just put onions on it with the bread and just, do something. But as for me, and I haven't ate, since I started my weight loss journey, I haven't eaten a burger since right before May. Have not touched a hamburger. That was the first burger I had in 2 months. And I indulged. I ate a lot of Guy's Burgers on that thing. I know I gained 5 pounds. Yes, I did. I gained 5 pounds on this cruise. But yeah, I burned it off now. Anyway, when it comes to watches, it is actually a fun thing for me to wrist check. But I go back to the shop and I run into my twin before he was my twin. And he said, yo, guess what I just got? And I was like, hold on. Don't tell me you got the Tissot. The very one. He said, yes, sir, I got it. I was like, yeah. Met his family and stuff like that. I think it was his mom that was with him. She had on, she had on a really nice, I think it was a Citizen or a Boulevard. It was something she had real nice on, small dainty watch. And we were all just talking watches, man. And I said, it is so amazing that I don't know this man. I didn't know his family. And one thing we had in common, if nothing else, was we liked to go on cruises. We were in the same spot, but then we like watches together, man. And we got the same watch. Bro, and this is such an amazing timepiece. Each one is piece unique because it's crushed carbon. right? And you know the way it's feathered and everything, everyone's gonna be unique. There's not gonna be the same. Yeah, it's the same watch, but yeah, you already know. It's like a fingerprint. What's in the chat, man? Tariffs going to impact the watch market. It is. I'm gonna say so. Let me say this real quick. I don't think that's not sustainable. That tariff thing, that's not sustainable. Now I know that there's some Swiss brands that jumped ahead of the curve and said, you know what, I'm gonna just send my watch to America. I'm gonna watch it to America to like the distribution centers here. That way they don't have to do all the extra stuff, right? But bro, that's I was doing the math last night, man. Like for those of you guys that like Rolex, oh my gosh, you know how much that adds? It's like dang near $2,000 on top. Oh my gosh. But I'm gonna tell you what, you know, I was talking to two other collectors, and they was like, well, shoot, somebody that's gonna buy a Rolex or a Breitling or something like that, they was gonna spend the money anyway. They're probably gonna, you know, just say, hey, chunk it up as a loss and just buy it anyway. I don't know, man. I beg to differ, bro. I feel like people are like, nah. Went to Trifecta, fantastic store and staff. Oh man, that's cool. Right on, man. Had to change my number and email, and unfortunately everything else. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Now, let's see. Said Martin. What? He said, I swear I seen you in that movie about T.I. putting weed in shit. Hey, nah, bro. Hey, nah. Oh, that's a terrible movie. But no, bro. Man. Oh, no, that wasn't me. That was not me. Oh, my gosh. Trap is the original passenger 50 Oh, man, Rob in the building. Breitling going down. Yeah, Breitling, hey, man. And then, shoot, they down in cost right now. I mean, not in cost. Sales. Breitling is down in sales. And Tudor. So a week before, because I was looking at this this is somebody else's research. I was watching YouTube, and they were stating that Tudor was down 23%. And I know that Teddy just put out a video about Tudor after his 5 years or something like that, him wearing a Tudor. There was a couple other people, man. It's funny, like when these things happen. Speaking of which, let me continue with the stories. Let me give you guys some feedback for all of you guys that are doing content on watches. Let me tell you what was said. Specifications and your own opinions on the watch. People absolutely hate. Man, I don't know what just happened, man. Got interrupted big time. The Escapement Show was in the building. I agree. Buying a watch on the holidays is a great souvenir. I went to a watch show in Ireland a couple years ago and ended up buying an Irish brand, which is Jewelers in Dublin. Great keepsake. Yes. Corey, hold on. Where's Risk for Ignorance in the building. What's going on, brother? All-Star is now selling the original but updated Jaws watch. Okay. I think I seen that this morning. I see Trap rocking at Mount Rushmore. Yeah. And we're gonna talk about it tonight. I'm gonna be live tonight. How can I be a part of this watch collecting club? You get out of here. Hey, come on, right there. Yes, yo, Trap, Skyler, Risk for Rent. Oh man, Escape Me. I appreciate you being here, brother. I think the 39% is applied to the wholesalers AD. If that's the case, it won't increase by 39%. More likely 10 and 12%, which still sucks. Yeah, so I did it at 15%. Last night I added it up at 15%. In some cases, you're talking about anywhere from $900 to like $1,500. And here's the bad part about it is whatever they increase their watch prices to, they're not going to come back down. Even if the tariffs comes off and they agree to like 15% or 11% or maybe even 10%, these dealers, they're not going to come down in price. We was talking about Formex, right? I was looking at a show that some of you guys that's in here right now, some of you old schoolers when you reviewed, I was watching y'all videos 5-6 years ago, reviewing Formex, so much cheaper than what it is now. And I like Formex. I want to add Formex to my collection, but like they keep going up in price, man. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I will stay right where I'm at. One of the watches that I wanted to collect this year, hands down, was this piece right here. I'm like, I gotta get that piece. Ever since I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I said, yeah, this is the one. And that is a Miyota powered watch. You out of here? See you. You too. I like the design, and I like what it represents. You know what I'm saying? It's like a man's thought, his passion for watches. His wife jokingly saying, well, you know what, you buying so many watches, why don't you start your own watch company? He said, you know what, I will. And he did. I'm like, that's a crazy story, simply put. And then look what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? And I just like the fact that it's options. And I think we're living in an era where, you know, in 20 years from now, some of these watch companies will stand the test of time and will be talked about just as much as our APs, Pateks, and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, because, again, the originators, the godfathers of horology, they literally paved the road for all these other companies and we're living in it, man. We get to talk to these people, which I think is dope. I think Sal Baltimore will be one of those companies that will last. Then I'm gonna say definitely Christopher Ward. They're solidified. They ain't going nowhere. And Nomadic, I think Nomadic, in my humble opinion, for those that don't know what Nomadic is, I think Nomadic will go from being a micro brand to an independent. Just how they're moving, and like, dude, people are getting behind this company like crazy. It's nuts, man. Like, they're doing big stuff. So there's a number of companies that I think are killing it. My bad. Didn't see it. Oh no, you good, you good. If I had Trap's hand, I had to just, oh man. Get out of here, animal. I know if they will add more than the tariff percentage. I'm gonna say hold what you got, bro. Hold what you got. And I'm not really concerned as much though with the tariffs. I know I was looking at the videos. I watched a number of YouTube sellers or YouTubers that sell watches. I seen was it Federico? He was like, hey, I'm not absorbing none of this. I'm sorry, but hey, I gotta stay in business. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my biggest thing too is I don't care. I'm not thinking about the personal effects of somebody, because to talk about YouTubers and content creators, you got this love-hate relationship, you know, from Federico to TGV to Mark. Like, all of these people have been under some type of microscope or controversy. I still root for the guy that has a business that's like literally putting themselves out there in public, you know. And I don't have to agree with them all the time, but I still respect their hustle. I respect their minds of entrepreneurship and putting this, because this ain't easy all the time, bro. Doing YouTube, man, you know, whether you do this for fun or you want to make a business out of it or to meet people, go on cruises with folks. YouTube is it could be a daunting place. It's hard. Some of the like, you can break the rules without even knowing the rules, because like it's not always plug and play. So I think with the tariffs thing, I don't care